All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Move, Groove, Grow podcast. This is kind of like more of an update, behind the scenes stuff of me sharing updates of what's happening with growing my companies. Vision Paradox, my social media company, Temper Tantrum, my dance company, and Emeroy TV, my personal brand, YouTube, and whatnot. Going right into it, Vision Paradox and Temper Tantrum had an opportunity to kind of work with each other this past weekend. Vision Paradox essentially got to do a lot of the production side for Temper Tantrum, filming for the project of Universal Rhythm Revisited. Those of you guys who are watching for this first time, Universal Rhythm Revisited is Temper Tantrum Dance Company's retelling of their sold out show last year in a short film format. So everything on stage now we're dressing it up a little bit more to be for a short film. So that means going on set, changing a lot of the choreography so it fits the set and also it fits the story. I've been spearheading that on the Vision Paradox end of things in terms of planning things out, in terms of directing it. Joey, who is both on Vision Paradox and Temper Tantrum, was the DP and the cam operator. So shouts out to him for doing a lot of the technical work, and along with also Max, who's the onset photographer, getting a lot of the social media content that we need for behind the scenes, and also doing a lot of the behind the scenes video content as well. Max and Joey are both help out on VP and also on TT, so it's kind of cool that we kind of overlap in certain aspects. The downside is it's kind of hard to do one job when you're trying to do the other side. So like those who actors who are also producers, writers, directors, and are also starring in their whole own film, it props, because that is stressful. I like it's already hard enough for me to just like go into dance mode when I'm also trying to direct, because then that means I have to stop and watch instead of being able to give direction in the moment. And usually the week going into shoot days, I get a little anxious as shoot day shows up, comes closer, because there's a point where I ask of, did I prepare enough? What more can I do? And then I check the game plan, and everything seems to be good. And I relax a little bit, but because there's only so much you can control, I guess it's the other stuff I can't control that sometimes worries me. Like are people gonna show up on time? Are people gonna know their shit in terms of choreography? Is something gonna like break? Those are the variables that I can't control. But seeing the initial game plan and kind of visualizing it before I sleep, which is what I do to help me go to sleep, has helped, because once I show up on set, it already feels familiar. All right, so in regards to the other updates with Temper Tantrum, so this past weekend was a pretty big weekend. I consider we call it a back-to-back-to-back weekend of, because it was performances and then filming. Friday and Saturday we performed at an event called Mix Match Dance Festival, sold out show. We haven't had the chance to really hit the stage in a while, so I figured it was a great opportunity for us to experience that, because we've been very busy just prepping and practicing for a lot of the filming for Universal Rhythm Revisited. So the overall experience of Mix Match, I think, was fun. It was great. It was a great bonding experience to do a show, hitting the stage, but it's also the mundane moments that I personally kind of enjoy, like tech rehearsal, practicing outside for a little bit, just chatting and hanging out, like during some downtime, going to lunch. I think that's like, aside from the highs of performing, those moments where it's not like super glorious, or it's not like super wow, and it's really just the mundane. I think those are the moments that really uh, built a lot of the bonds and just really catered the team's chemistry, the friendships. Um, but I think what made this experience a little bit more memorable was that there was a few shit talkers from the other acts, which I don't think I've ever experienced. I personally didn't catch it, but I did hear it from other members who kind of said the same thing, who essentially, like, they corroborated, like they heard the same thing from, I guess, certain people. We never found out who exactly it was, but it was, if I remember correctly, it was as we walked into the first house meeting for the show, and as also when we were leaving. Some of the things that they said, like why are there gangsters here, or like I didn't know we were in the ghetto, and such inappropriate comments for a show, especially in kind of a diverse medium such as dance. If you've ever been to an event like Body Rock, B-Boy Summit, Freestyle Sessions, Vibe, or Hip Hop International, like those events are very welcoming, very supportive. Unless you're like a very insane, high, crazy competitor, you know. But even though with that, most people are pretty open and supportive to their other competitors, their other performers as well. But the difference with this is Mixed Match was a dance festival, so it wasn't just specifically focusing on hip hop. Though again, it was a great event overall. We performed last year and we performed this year. Dance festivals are insanely different from, say, a hip hop international or freestyle sessions, because these feature a little bit more artistic pieces and artistic performances in dance. So it's not just hip hop choreo; it's contemporary, it's jazz, it's folklorico, it's uh, one act that we saw was very interpretive. So coming from those events and then going to here, it's kind of a different type of event. But also hearing that kind of hurt, uh, and it did upset me. But it personally got me amped and it got me a little bit more motivated. Same with the team to give a really really good show. Brandon, our artistic director, said, "If they go low, we go high." So we, as much as we want to retaliate, I say like the best revenge is just success. So as a result, I gave it our all on both days. We got great, probably the best crowd reactions on for this event, because typically in my experience in dance festivals, it's they're a little bit more uh quiet in terms of a crowd because they're more engaged in watching and also in just observing the dance and start. Whereas if you've ever been to any sort of the events I mentioned before, they're more vocal. They will yell when they want. They'll cheer. They'll do like supportive comments. But events like this are usually quiet and they wait until the end to clap. When both of which, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just two different types of audiences and just two different ways in how they show appreciation. So overall, it was still fun and hyped. It was just great to share the stage and just have that that kind of like, even though it was kind of a quote unquote negative experience, it was kind of a unifying experience. Like, yeah. All right. So lesson of the week. I guess I kind of was trying to figure out a decent lesson, but if the one that's really standing out to me is like, if you want to get good at something, repetition is the mother of mastery. Whether it's a new job or skill, or you just want to get good at, being the best sales guy, marketer, dancer, it's not just the repetitions. If you're trying to get to someone's level 20, it's going to be 4 times work, 5 times work, because the person who's already in level 20 has already mastered the basics and they're already efficient. Their one rep is you doing 5 to 10 just to catch up. And then it's another 5 to 10 to do better. I think that's where it's like, it's can be boring for so much people, because it is boring. It is tedious. It is hard, but it's necessary if you're aiming to be remotely good at your job. Yeah, that's it in terms of the lesson. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.